Women in spring attire were greeted by an equally pleasant spring weather at the Mother's Day lunch hosted by IACA Women's Forum, the outdoor location of the spacious Amphitheatre in Newtown Park Alpharetta sprung into color on May 11, 2024, as guests gathered to celebrate the single most cherished woman in their lives, mothers. The gentle breeze and lush greenery around set the tone for the event aimed to inspire women, rejuvenate and energize their mind, body and soul with inspirational talks by a famous journalist and mountaineers, networking opportunities, pranic healing, soulful music, thematic dance, and a sumptuous spread of Indian delicacies to pamper the palate. In alignment with its theme, Mansi Kumar opened the event with a grounding exercise to encourage everyone to be present in the moment.
Lift your hand in a blessing position.
Judge Neera Bal's candescent voice channeled the divine, evoking profound emotions in her ethereal rendering of "Maa aaj tumhe nij dwar kholna hi hoga."
करनी मैंने कछु नाही करी बिन की
here to narrate this incredible journey from being that child to being this accomplished woman she is here today. So please give a big hand to Monica.
Her and I exchanged roles. I was the one she looked up to now for guidance and help, and I saw her as someone who was dependent on me. She never complained about her misfortune. She never made demands of others or felt sorry for herself. Until the very end, she laughed a hearty laugh. Until the end, she laughed a hearty laugh. She spent hours on the telephone keeping in touch with friends and family because she could not really visit them. My father scolded her about the massive telephone bills. She was the glue that held us together. She did not fully overcome the obstacles placed in her path, but she persevered. Her perseverance has been my guide as I fast approach the age at which she died. Most of the stories I write now are about human resilience. I think all the time about fate, how fortunate I was that the trajectory of my life was upended when I was only a few days old because of a chance meeting between a missionary and a woman who desperately wanted a child. I might have grown up in a basti in Kolkata. I might not have had a good education or traveled around the world. I might not have become a journalist and had the privilege of telling stories of people who are vulnerable or marginalized or unfairly treated. I myself might have been one of those millions of people in the world today whose lives go unnoticed, whose voices remain unheard. Most of all, I would not have had the rest of mothers. So happy Mother's Day to all of you amazing moms out there. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your moms, not just today, but every day of your lives.
Gone near the top of the world and done the most adventurous things and that we can hope to do and get inspired to. So I'll start with, in no particular order, I'll start with Gayatri. Welcome.
Everest, Edmund Hillary said, it always stuck to me. He said, it's not the mountains you conquer, but yourself. So I totally see that. I conquered what I hated the most, cold. I now go and do hikes in freezing temperatures. I conquered climbing a mountain. I hated huggings. I conquered that. I didn't know how to breathe properly, right? I learned how to breathe. I started doing yoga. I started doing pranayama. All those things to ensure that I survived in high altitude. So I conquered a lot. I conquered, the best thing about it is I conquered the fear that I can't do something. But then I got that courage to say, yes, I can do that,
I get 300 feet. It's absolutely daunting. The moment we land, we went to our rooftop. I very vividly remember this. So absolutely a far sight. The mountain was like tall and majestic and it's in its full glory, and we had an absolutely clear view of Kili. So I told Kavita, I was like, are we gonna make it? And then there are people coming into our hotel, walking in, and they're like, and they would tell us stories and how daunting it was, day 3, day 4, and they're like, and Kavita fell sick day 1. So then we come back, and then we're like, let's just go. Because at this point in time, we're hearing success stories, failure stories, but then we would just take one day at a time, ladies. So if you're here, you're here for a reason, right? You would rather be home.
Everything about the experience, Kilimanjaro was, something that made you appreciate all the little things in life. And, there are 2 things that sort of, I think of takeaways. Those would be like, one is, why should we embrace uncomfortable uncertainty? And number 2 is, what lessons that, mountains teach you, when you go out there and you keep an open mind. So let's start with the first question, which is, embrace the uncomfortable uncertainty. We've all experienced different uncomfortable moments, throughout our lives, and that really changed, our lives in meaningful ways. They almost sometimes change the trajectory of where our life was headed. And
just get IACA if any woman or any man needs help, send an email to that address, and IACA will not solve the problems, will refer to the service providers.
Thank you, Carl, for starting the Women's Forum, Women's Day celebration, and all that. And as Shan said, that IACA is focusing more on the community services. And what else could be a better community?
It's so beautiful. It's not like any other I have seen before. So even if there is exaggeration in there, I'll gracefully accept on behalf of all the organizers. We do take pride in how we conduct our programs very consciously. And as Suma mentioned,
for everyone
More
who's
and more
here
people
to
are coming.
embrace your mothers
More and more
every
good
day of
things
your
are
life,
happening,
not to
and
wait
more
for
and more
Mother's
bad
Day
things
to
are happening.
celebrate your mother
So nobody want to
and
talk
all
about
that
the
she has
challenges
given you.
women
You know,
in Atlanta
I
face.
missed out on that
So we felt that
opportunity because I
there
didn't really
we need an
know
organization
about my mother's
attending
life
to the
and
needs of
everything
the
she had
Indian women.
sacrificed until
It's
she was
encouraging
gone.
them
She had
in their
died.
activities,
And I
giving them
learned a
support,
lot about her life from
and
reading her
helping them
journals.
where they need
And
it.
that's one of the
So with
biggest
that
regrets
idea,
of my
we
life,
started
that I
Atlanta
never did
Indian
that.
Idol.
And
So
I, for many
the
years,
same
felt
works
pity for myself that my
IACA
mother died
Women's
so
Forum
young and that
in
I
this
wasn't
year.
able to do
The-
that. But also,
so
it was
first
partly my
event
fault
happened on
because I
January
never
28th.
asked those
Group
questions.
of our volunteers
And so,
initiated. Then we did
please,
the
please,
International Women's
all
Day
you
on March
people
10th.
out
It was
there,
well
talk
attended,
to your
more
moms
than
and
200
love your
people.
moms
And
and
today I also encourage you.
celebrate
Again,
their
we are not
lives every
completing
day
with
of your
Bollywood program.